You need to allow yourself to be who you are. Because that's really all that we're looking for, no matter what form it sometimes take. We just want to be what we are. We don't want to try and be something that we are not, even though perhaps society told you that you should be this type of person, or perhaps your parents taught you a certain way of doing things and that this is what you should be focused on. Or maybe you learned something from your friends, or you learned something from someone else. It's okay to be who you are. In fact, it is the most rewarding and fulfilling and amazing thing in the whole world to just be who you are. And something that I talk a lot about is that there is, or well, I've talked about it before, that there are two states that you can be in as a human. Either you are consciously living your life as who you are, and it's an amazing thing, or you are living your life unconsciously as something that you think that you should be. And all of those think that you should be lifestyles comes from an escape from yourself, trying to escape from yourself, not allowing yourself to be who you truly and authentically are, and instead trying to be something else because you believe that there is something off about being who you really are. And if you watch my channel before, you know I like to talk about emotions, because emotions is the core of our energy, your vibration. It is dictated by the emotional state within your body, and the emotional state is dictated on your previous experiences of life. All of those times where perhaps you were your authentic self, expressed yourself naturally as you are, but you learned something from someone that perhaps reacted to you in a certain way. Perhaps a parent that told you, no, you can't do that, or you should be focused on this. And then you think to yourself, okay, well, since these people are important to me, or because I'm a little bit afraid, this is something that seems like what I should be doing, then okay, I'm not going to stay in contact with who I am anymore through the emotions, through the heart, through the body, and instead start to live a little bit more in the mind. You start becoming a little bit more unconscious as a person, the more that you decide that you're not going to live within the body of who you truly and authentically are. Now, most people have no idea that they're living their life completely unconscious. No idea that all the things that they are looking for, chasing for, all of these thoughts that are always going on in their mind there's always some means to an end to everything. Because that is how the mind works. It looks for accomplishments. It looks for something to get better. It looks for change. While the heart and the body and your emotional state is simply as it is. It doesn't look for change because it is perfect as it is. Something that is very hard to understand for someone that is perhaps very addicted to material things, or that is very addicted to an addiction, or is very addicted to the news, or very addicted to the modern world in whatever way, shape, or form that takes. They have no idea that the most amazing state and experience of life that I could be experiencing is not because of these things that I'm attaining, that I'm getting, that I'm doing, but who I'm being. And that first comes back to allowing yourself to be who you really are. Now, I didn't understand for a long time that the reason that I was so hard on myself, that I always tried to improve, that I worked so hard on my business, that I tried to be the best in the sports that I did for a long time, was very much influenced by me running away from emotions of shame, emotions of guilt, and so on, that I was completely unconscious about. And, as I started this inward journey of moving my awareness back into the body and not always placed on something out here in the world that I'm focusing on getting, or some thought pattern, or perhaps you're always attached to an attitude of rejecting things, or whatever it is. It could be so many different things. When you're not attached to that, you start moving back into the essence of who you truly are. All of those things from the experiences that you had in your past that conditioned you to be in a certain way starts moving up into your awareness again, if you allow it. And once it is up there in your awareness, it's time to stop running from it. Because in the simple act of letting go of those old programs, in allowing in what simply is, you connect deeply back to who you are again. You raise your vibration. Everything starts becoming amazing. Through the simple act of acceptance. Through the simple act of consciously being here. You don't have to do anything. You just have to make the shift of awareness into acceptance. Into being with what is, instead of trying to do something always about what is. You know, I am so often moving back into that state of feeling like I should be doing something. Something needs to happen. I need to change something. I can't just sit here. I need to get back to work. I need to release this next video, whatever it is. It so often happens to me that I move back into that space. And then I lose all the clarity in my life. Because as long as you have this active mind, this survival mechanism that is trying to protect you from these emotions at all times throughout your life, through your programs of how you always did and acted out your personality. While you're so engaged in that, you cannot move into the stillness and into the presence of who you are, which leads you to just such a high level of clarity about everything. Because the more that you can marinate yourself just in this acceptance of things as it is, the mind starts slowing down. And you start connecting more fully to who you are as a person again. And in that stillness of who you are, without running anymore, everything starts to become clear. Everything starts to make sense. Everything just aligns for you. And you realize, oh, today is a day when I'm just supposed to relax a little bit. And that moment where you make that shift, you might realize that the next moment, just a minute later, oh, now I'm gonna go and do this thing. Because you are connected to your joy and your authentic self again. And you know what you want to do. Sometimes, however, it's a little bit uncomfortable to be in this space. That's why we try to run our entire life. Because as soon as we drop that program, it's usually not, initially, for a person that is so used to their programs, a very pleasant state to be in. Because you have to go through that shame, that guilt, that anger, frustration, whatever it is that you're always carrying within you, that makes it so that you're always living your life through these programs, through this matrix of a reality that you have created for yourself through your personality. Because this body, your personality, who you are, is deeper than those things. It's deeper than the emotions. It's deeper than everything. The awareness that you are can be in observance of these things and allow them to go on instead of resisting and fighting it. And once you move into that space, everything just starts aligning for you. That is what I've realized myself. If you want to learn how to move into this state of allowance, then check out my free 30-minute subconscious success course. And you can also check out my coaching calls. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye bye.